What if your money, the dollars sitting in your bank account right now, had an off switch that someone else could flip at any moment? What if every dollar you own could be given an expiration date or programmed with a list of things you are not allowed to buy? This is not a dark science fiction movie. This technology is not a theory. It is being built right now, under your very nose. It is being disguised as a simple convenience. You are being told that services like FedNow are simply an upgrade to our payment system. You are told it is a long overdue modernization of our antiquated financial infrastructure, a way to make payments faster, just like Zelle or Venmo. This is the official story. It is a simple, plausible, and comforting explanation. It is also, in our analysis, a deliberate, calculated lie. This is not an upgrade. It is the construction of a digital prison. It is the final, terrifying piece of a 100-year-old plan. In our first report, we exposed the first money trap of 1913, the creation of the Federal Reserve, a system designed for perpetual debt. That system was a macro tool. It allowed a central cartel to devalue everyone's money at once, stealing your wealth slowly and invisibly through inflation. But that system, for all its power, had one fundamental flaw from their perspective. It did not give them control over you. They could make your dollar worth less, but they could not stop you from using that dollar to buy what you wanted, when you wanted. They could not stop you from pulling your cash from an ATM, holding it in your hand, and living outside their control. This new system fixes that. This is the story of the digital trap. It is the mechanism that transitions the power of the Fed from simple macro control to absolute micro control. This is the FedNow Takeover, and it is the blueprint for the end of your financial freedom. To understand this takeover, you must first see the shell game they are playing with two very different, very dangerous terms, FedNow and a CBDC. They want you to confuse the two. They are counting on it. Your ability to see the difference is your only defense. FedNow, which is already active, is the official story. They call it an interbank real-time gross settlement service. It sounds boring on purpose. It is technical jargon, designed to make your eyes glaze over. All it does, they claim, is allow banks to send money to each other 24/7. It is, in their analogy, just a new set of train tracks, a faster, more efficient infrastructure for the same money you've always used. But the real danger is the train they are building to run on those new tracks. That train is called a CBDC, a central bank digital currency. This is not like the money in your bank account right now. It is a fundamental and total transformation. When you look at your banking app today and see $10,000, you are looking at a digital representation of a commercial bank liability. It is an IOU from your private bank, like Chase or Bank of America. It is their liability, and your asset, a CBDC, is something entirely new. It is a central bank liability. It is a digital dollar issued directly from the Federal Reserve. To you, the Fed becomes your bank. In this new system, the Fed no longer needs commercial banks as middlemen. All those bank branches on every corner, they become obsolete. For the first time in history, the central bank, the unelected private entity we exposed in 1913, would have a direct one-to-one, unbreakable connection to every citizen. And with that direct connection comes a level of control that the tyrants and dictators of the past could only have dreamed of. This is the power of programmable money. This means the creator of the money, the central bank, can write rules directly into the code of the money itself. When they send you a dollar, it is no longer just a dollar. It is a dollar ... if, a dollar ... until, a dollar ... unless. Let's explore what this programmable feature actually means for your life. Imagine a public health crisis is declared, like the one in 2020. Your new digital dollars could be programmed to be spent only on essential items, as defined by the government. You go to the grocery store, you try to buy a steak, but the transaction is declined. Your health passport has determined red meat is not approved. You try to buy a soda or a bottle of wine. Transaction declined. You are only allowed to buy the items they have deemed healthy for you. Now, imagine a climate crisis is declared. Your new digital wallet is assigned a monthly carbon limit by the central planners. You try to buy gasoline. Transaction declined. You have used your monthly carbon allowance for driving. You are instructed to take public transportation. You try to buy an airline ticket. Transaction declined. You are not permitted to engage in high-carbon leisure travel. Your money is yours ... but only if you obey. This is not a conspiracy theory. The World Economic Forum and the IMF have openly discussed this feature as a benefit for enforcing global climate policy. But the most terrifying feature of all ... is the one that gives them total political control. We do not need to imagine this. We have already seen the beta test for this system. In 2022 in Canada, a group of truckers organized a peaceful protest, the Freedom Convoy. They were protesting government mandates. The government, unable to stop the protest, did not send in the army. They did something far more surgical. They invoked the Emergencies Act and ordered the banks to freeze the bank accounts of anyone associated with the protest. This was not limited to the leaders. Anyone who had donated as little as $20 to their cause found their entire financial lives ... turned off. They could not buy food for their families. They could not pay their rent. They could not buy fuel to go home. They were made into financial non-persons. This was all done without a trial, without a court order, by the simple press of a button. It was a clear warning to all other citizens: disobey and you are next. This was a clunky, difficult process. The government had to order dozens of different private commercial banks to hunt down and freeze the accounts. A CBDC, the conjugal, makes this process instant, automatic and inescapable. In this new system, if you donate to a political party the government does not like, if you attend a protest they deem illegal, if you even post a wrong opinion on social media that is flagged as misinformation, they can simply flip the switch. They do not need to ask your bank. They are your bank. Your money, your FedNow account is frozen or worse, seized and redistributed. This is the new money trap. It is a digital leash, but the control does not even end there. What about the Fed's old problem, inflation? What about economic stimulus? In 2020, during the lockdowns, the government printed and sent out trillions of dollars in stimulus checks, but they were furious at what happened next. Millions of people did not spend it, they saved it. They paid off high-interest credit card debt. They bought assets. They did not stimulate the economy. In the eyes of the central planners, you the citizen did not use the money in the way they had commanded. A CBDC fixes this problem for good. This is the power of expiration dates. In the new system, the government can send you a $1,000 stimulus payment, with a rule attached that says it must be spent by the end of the month. If you do not spend it, it simply disappears from your account. This is not money. This is a digital coupon for forced consumption. It eliminates your ability to save. It destroys the very concept of money as a store of value. It makes you a permanent, dependent consumer. It turns every citizen into a data point, a cog in a machine, forced to spend when they are told, and on what they are told to buy. And that, is the FedNow Takeover. FedNow is the Trojan Horse. It is the innocent-looking infrastructure being built today to get the entire country, every bank, every business, every single citizen, fully plugged in and comfortable with a 100% centralized, instant, digital payment system. It is the convenience that precedes the control. This is the true reason for the war on cash. For years they have been slowly, methodically making physical cash inconvenient. They tell you it's dirty. They tell you it's for criminals. They tell you it's obsolete and slow. They are desperate to get you off the analog grid. They need you in their digital system where every single transaction can be monitored, tracked, logged, and, if necessary, denied. FedNow is the on-ramp. It is the bridge being built to this new system. Once the train tracks of FedNow are fully installed, once everyone is dependent on them, introducing the train, the CBDCs, the easy part, they will wait. They will wait for the next crisis. They will wait for the very debt collapse we have been warning you about. And when the old system of commercial banks finally shatters under its own impossible weight, when the public is panicking in the streets, when their bank accounts are frozen, they will emerge as the saviors. They will say the old system is broken. It was a failure of the greedy private banks. But do not worry. We have a new safe, secure system ready. They will call it the FedNow account, the new digital dollar. It is 100% backed directly by the Federal Reserve, and your money will be 100% safe. And the people, desperate for any form of stability, will run willingly into the open doors of the digital prison. This is the final, brilliant move in the 100-year plan. The money trap of 1913 gave them macro control. It gave them the power to devalue your savings over time. It was a slow, invisible theft. The digital trap of 2026 gives them micro control. It gives them the power to control what you buy, when you buy, and if you are allowed to buy at all. It is the completion of the system. It is the beginning of the end of economic freedom and the start of a new era of total, programmatic control. It is the moment your bank account stops being your bank account and simply becomes their FedNow account.